2014-15 Buffalo Sabres season is presented by Gold Ring Partners, First Niagara, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, Labatt, and Falls View Casino Resort.
Hi again, everyone. Welcome inside Nationwide Arena as the Jackets and Sabres clash for a second time. First meeting since Buffalo's season opener when the Jackets prevailed 3-1 at First Niagara Center. Columbus turns to a young netminder still looking for his first NHL win in Anton Forsberg tonight, while Buffalo will ride Michael Neuvert once again. His save percentage outstanding over the last 5 games. And shooting against Forsberg this evening, potentially your Moe's hot players, Zemgus Girgensons, Marcus Foligno, Torrey Mitchell, all have scored versus Columbus in their careers. Mitchell, 2 of his 39 career offerings have come against the Blue Jackets. Join Moe's Hot Player Text Club to receive 25% off your entree when a Moe's Hot Player scores. Text Moe's Hot Players to 81018. Rick Jeanneret, Rob Ray have got the call coming up here from Nationwide Arena. The Jackets still bitten by the injury bug. The Sabres a little bit healthier. However, Nikita Zadorov remains out. The call coming up on MSG.
Sabres Hockey on MSG is brought to you by First Niagara, the official bank of the Buffalo Sabres. Labatt Blue Light, the official Canadian import of the Buffalo Sabres. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York. Healthy changes everything. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Falls View Casino Resort, the place you want to be. Closed captioning for Buffalo Sabres broadcast brought to you by Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center. Better hearing starts at Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center, serving Western New York for 60 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us for tonight's national anthem, would you please welcome United States Air Force Master Sergeant Mark Lyle. And now here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome United States Air Force Technical Sergeant Joshua Heyman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Technical Sergeant Joshua Heyman.
Our starting goaltenders brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop. Great tasting food, amazing prices, and it will be, well, heck, we say it every night lately, don't we? Michael Neuvert going again in goal for the Buffalo Sabres, and for good reason he's playing in goal, because he has been certainly keeping up his end of the bargain. At the other end of the rink, it'll be Anton Forsberg, a rookie, who will be participating in his 5th game for the Columbus Blue Jackets. This broadcast brought to you in HD by the new Stereo Advantage. See the first LG OLED at the new Stereo Advantage on Worley Drive. And our referees here at Nationwide Arena, Wes McCauley and Justin St-Pierre, the linesman Dave Brisebois, and Mike Civic. The Sabres have one more game yet to play in this building before the season ends, and it's the second last day of the season, as a matter of fact. Tipped back to the Buffalo line and taken away by Bogosian. He got it up on the boards. That's broken up and chipped on in deep. Benoit charging back after it. Gets bumped in the corner. And some help from Mitchell around for Bogosian. Bogosian fighting off the forecheck. Rolled it back into the corner. Swung around on the boards and came to the blue line, but not out. Bounced in wide of Neuvert. Goes back into the corner. It came out in front of the net. But Mitchell came back and took down his man rudely. Now it's fed around into the corner again as Foligno. That is Nick Foligno bumping with Mitchell. Back behind the net. Bogosian takes it away. Bogosian trying to fight off two Columbus Blue Jackets. Swings it around into the corner. Olsen battling for it on the wall. He pries it free and leaves it back there. And it's flipped around behind the net, but Nick Foligno comes up with it and gets it back in the other direction. All the way back to the point. The shot by Tootin goes off the leg and caroms off into the corner. Now Buffalo getting it to center ice, but the Blue Jackets starting quickly. Mitchell taps it back into his own zone, allowing Buffalo to make a change. Benoit to center. He'll swing it in and hustle to the bench. Girgensons try to steal it away in the corner. He does. Girgensons rolled it on the boards, tipped back in the other direction, kept alive by Buffalo with Ennis. Ennis tried to swing it out in front of the net. It carried him back in behind the goal. Ennis gets it again, chipped around to the boards, held in there by Mazzaros. Around for Ennis. Ennis tried to jam one in from the side of the net, but it's broken up, and the Blue Jackets will bring it on to center and send it in deep. And that goes out of play.
Well, Zemgus Girgensons, Tyler Ennis doing a good job on the forecheck. After the Sabres spending some time in their zone, you see Girgensons going down low. Two guys coming across. He's able to get the puck, move it up the wall to Stewart and keep it alive. And Tyler Ennis just in that rotation coming from behind the net. He's able to pick this puck up and try to feed it from the front. But the forecheck of this Columbus team, two guys, we saw it earlier in this game, two guys are coming, and they're going to be relentless. They're going to come at you, and that's their MO. They want to irritate you. They want to get it on top of you and frustrate you early.
Now the puck picked up by Johansson. He got it back into the corner and trying to chase after it. Here's Winberg. He gets tied up, pokes at it again. Marcus Foligno battling in the corner, and it's tapped around behind the net and recovered by Johnson. Johnson takes a hit from Delorier. And it's finally sent up on the wing and brought it back to center ice. Johansson steering it in over the line. Winberg puts on the brakes and feeds it down low into the corner. Chopped around behind the net. Kept in by Columbus. The long shot right on, and Neuvert saw it coming all the way and hangs on to it.
Matt Ellis doing a nice job in front of the net, tying up his man, pushing him off to the side, so Michael Neuvert is able to see this shot coming through. He realizes there's no D in front of the net, so he just pops back out, ties up his man. Ryan Johansson, he's a guy you want to keep an eye on every time he's on the ice. Very electrifying guy, excellent with the puck.
Tipped across ice, kept in by Wisniewski. Now it's jammed in behind the net. Bowl got it off to the side, but Buffalo intercepts, and it's brought on by Bogosian. He'll send it in deep. That'll be tipped around behind the goal for Larson. Larson digs it free. Back to Bogosian. He doesn't shoot. Wings it over for Benoit. Getting it deep into the corner. Hudson back to Benoit again. Takes his shot. Deflected right on the rebound. Chopped down in front of the net and whipped off into the corner. Recovered by Letestu. He didn't get it out with the first try, did the second, and it's dumped back in by Larson. Larson trying to get away in the corner is knocked down by Wisniewski. And it dribbles back inside the Buffalo line with both teams engineering changes. A little over 3 minutes into this opening period. Long cross ice pass is taken and clubbed in by Gianta and recovered by Columbus, but Gianta steals it back again, tried to work it on, got it in front of the net, comes back to the point, and Mazzaros with a shot that went wide. Cleared back into the corner again. Buffalo holding it in, at least momentarily anyway. It comes back to Mazzaros. Mazzaros got it along the boards for Mitchell, trying to shovel it along into the corner. Molson knocks it free. Came to the point. Long shot by Mazzaros is right on and is trapped by the goaltender Forsberg.
Anton Forsberg making a save there. His record this year, 4 games, he's 0-3, but he has not had much of a chance to play. His MO gives up that soft goal early, they say, and then he kind of settles down into his game a little bit, but he leaves a lot of the net coming down on the angle. So when you're coming down the wing, he's going to have a lot more to shoot at because the way he stays back at his net, he does not cover it much. Very good.
There's Atkinson around behind his net, sends it up on the wing through center ice, and it's chipped in deep for Nick Foligno. Now Dubinsky goes charging in there. Rolling in on the boards, back to the point, the long shot, knocked down in front of the net, a rebound, and it's swung free and knocked out to center ice and picked up by Girgensson. Girgenssen's in over the line, backhand, put it right through the goal crease. Sabres holding it in. Stewart jamming it around behind the net. Girgensson charges after it again. He flipped it along the boards, intercepted by Ennis, who keeps it in there. Ennis tried to get it in front of the net. He did, but it went off a skate, and Dubinsky brings it back again. He gets in over the line. Atkinson shot right on and smothered by Neubert. Stay tuned for the Karuba Collision. It's coming up later in the game. Head to Sabres.com to vote on the Karuba Collision of the Year. You'll have a chance to win season tickets for next year.
Well, Columbus is going to want to get to the front of the net, and they're going to let them battle because the shots are going to come from the top side. Zach Bogosian does a nice job tying up Dubinsky, keeping his body into an angle where the rebound is laying there. He's able to pick up the puck and then move it up the ice. So you've got to be aware these guys are going to come from the bottom side, try to get to the front of the net. You've got to box them out to give Neubert the chance.
Neubert has to make another save and another one as he held his ground. He's worked around with the boards, kept in there by Columbus, battling forward as Hartnell. It goes around behind the net and is left for Mazzaros, who swings it over on the other side. Pezic deals it up to center to Marcus Foligno. Foligno pulling away, getting back through the middle again. Now comes in the Columbus territory, flipped it back to the point. Mazzaros holding it in and sending it in deep. Intercepted by Marcus Foligno. He cleared it in front of the net, but Delorier couldn't get his stick on it. Back it comes to Mazzaros, who will hold it in. Delorier battling for it, knocked it in behind the goal. Flynn missed it. And it finally chopped around on the boards and picked up by Wenberg. Columbus with a chance to get it out, and it's steered ahead by Wenberg as far as center. Knocked down there by Buffalo, rolled off the boards. And Johansson tried to come up with it, but he got squeezed to the wall. Pezic steals it away behind the net. Got it up on the wing, rang all the way through center to Letestu. And he flips it over, picked up by Golubev. Now Columbus sending it in. Goes back into the corner, tapped around on the boards, off the referee, jumps up in the air, not out of the zone. Larson kicked it free to center for Ellis. Ellis jumps it over, and it's going to end up in behind the Columbus bench with 13:42 remaining here in the open period from Nationwide Arena and no score.
Geico, this day in hockey history, February 24th, 1982. Edmonton's Wayne Gretzky beat Don Edwards for his 77th goal of the season to break the NHL record of 76, held by Phil Esposito. Gretzky had a hat trick this night and went on to score 92 goals for that season.
I remember that night. That was the cherry on the cake as far as Gretzky was concerned, getting not the hat trick so much, that was old hat to him, so to speak, but to end up with as many goals as he did that year. And the long shot now is going to be on Forsberg, and he'll hang on to it for the face-off.
He scored a couple big momentum goals in Buffalo, didn't he?
He scored it.
Didn't he tie the record or something?
City.
Yeah. But I think he tied a record late in his career when he was in with LA or something, yeah, in Buffalo as well. So I tell you, it was the most amazing guy to play against. You sat on the bench even as a young man, sitting there, and you watched him how he controlled the game. Whatever tempo he wanted, whatever type of game he wanted to play, Wayne Gretzky was able to dictate it, and it just seemed like everybody just followed along behind him.
The Blue Jackets getting it up on the wing now, and it's finally pried free and brought up the center by Nick Foligno. Broken up. Buffalo with a chance to bring it back. Molson dribbled it in over the line and recovered by Tutin. Now scooped out in front of the net. Blue Jackets on to Nick Foligno, and he sends it all the way down the ice, and chasing back after it is Benoit, but beaten to the punch, so there's no icing. Jammed into the corner. Rolled around on the boards. Nick Foligno rifles it across ice. Blue Jackets keeping it in. It goes wide of the net on the shot. Tipped around on the boards again, but held in there by Savard. And back into the corner where Anisimov comes up with it. Anisimov steers it around behind the net. Savard left it there. Gunned across ice and a long screen shot. Misses the net. The rebound taken away. Nisimov shot right on. And that's going to be grabbed and held by the goaltender Neuvert with 12:39 remaining in the period. One of the most amazing things I ever saw Wayne Gretzky do was in Edmonton one night. He was playing on a line as per usual with Jari Kurri. Kurri dropped his stick near center ice or had it knocked out of his hands. And Gretzky on a drive-by flipped the stick up into the air, right back into Curry's hands again, and Kurri had to be 15 feet away from him. It's absolutely amazing.
That is amazing.
I look at both benches and they're going, oh my Lord.
He could do it all.
Yep. Here's a shot that went off a skate and goes to the boards, fed around and cleared in behind the Buffalo net. Taken back by Atkinson. Atkinson holding it in there, and his shot gets knocked down, trying to pick it up again, but Ennis steals it away. Ennis coming on to center, tips it in over the line. Stewart swings it behind the net for Girgensons. He fights off a check to go after it again, but it's recovered by Johnson, and Johnson got it up on the wing. Atkinson sending it in. And pumping in after it is Calvert. Kick at it along the boards again, trying to knock it free in the corner. McCabe lurking. He jammed it back in along the boards, but the Blue Jackets will keep it in with a shot from the point that gets nailed by Neuvert, and he hangs on to it.
Teamwork is an important part of hockey. If you've been injured, use the teamwork of our 48 attorneys to help you get the best possible result.
And that shot that just came in on Michael Neuvert, it changed directions 3 times from the time the defenseman took the shot until it actually got to his glove. It was deflected 3 times.
Puck swung around on the boards and jammed back in behind the net by Marcus Foligno. The Foligno brothers in the game tonight. Tipped all the way back to the blue line with Wisniewski sending it ahead. Hartnell drops it off in his own zone. The pass comes to center and ends up going all the way down to Neuvert. Flipped up the middle to Flynn. Flynn to Bogosian. He takes his shot and ripped it wide of the net. And held in by Delorier. Back to the point again. Bogosian steering it in around on the boards. Moving up. There's Mazzaros who knocked it down, but he falls, and back comes Columbus. The end of the Buffalo line. It's steered off into the corner by Johansson. Recovered by Marcus Foligno, who tapped it back behind his net. Bowl chasing after it. And taken away by Mazzaros, who got it up on the wing to Hodgson. Hodgson steps away from one, hitting the Columbus line and over. Hodgson digs into the corner, took a backhand, he scored! Hodgson let a backhand go toward the net. It might have been a pass as much as a shot, but it eluded the goaltender, and Buffalo takes the lead.
Well, there's a smile on his face because he needed that goal. He's went on quite a dry run here in the offensive department, especially in the goals category. And right here, just tossing the puck to the net, realizing he's got guys driving through. And Forsberg not able to handle. We just got done talking about the MO letting in that soft goal early. Exactly what just happened right here. That was not a good goal to give up, and it's right in his chest. He should be able to make the easy save there, and he allows it to sneak down through his legs into the nets.
Well, the Blue Jackets trying to bring it back again. In over the line goes Dano. He works it in wide at the goal, swings it out in front. There's a backhand that just went wide. Gianta taps it back. Ristolainen gets it up on the wing. Gianta through center with a pass that lost in the skates of Molson. Columbus working it again. Fed in deep by Nick Foligno. Taken away by McCabe. McCabe hooked it along the boards, got it out of the zone, all the way back to center ice, past the halfway mark of the opening period. Got back in over the line by Calvert. His shot is right on. Here's the rebound. It's tipped just wide of the net. And kept alive by Dubinsky. Dubinsky still holding it in there. Then he gets checked and it goes to center out of the stick of Jack Johnson. Got it up on the wing. Flipped in over the line. Blue Jackets try to get a shot on, and finally it's ripped in front of the net and knocked down as Calvert let it go. Buffalo starting back. On the wing it goes to Stewart, who steers it off into the corner. Stewart gets it back again out in front, but Ennis couldn't get there in time. Taken away by Dubinsky. Dubinsky gaining center ice and trying to dump it in so he can get to the bench. Well, he tried, but it went right out of play with 9:01 to go here in the opening period. And Buffalo enjoying a 1-0 lead on the Cody Hodgson goal. The Ford dealers of Western New York replay brought to you by the Ford F-150 with EcoBoost.
Take another look at Cody Hodgson's third goal of the season here. And he's just going to take this puck backhanded to the net. And you watch Forsberg. He has no idea. This puck just going to loft right to him. Catches it right where he needs to, right in the stomach area. But he just loses total control of it, drops it, and he ends up kicking it into his own net with his pad. So, get the puck to the net here. 5 shots, you got 1 goal so far. Continue to test this kid.
I imagine they'll be doing it a lot from here on in after seeing that one. Another puck there to center, but it's stolen back by Buffalo, and Marcus Foligno gets it in over the line. Here's a trying to cut it again, and he got taken out, then spins it from the backhand, but it's sent off the boards and cleared out to center ice. Chasing after it, Calvert knocked away from him. And shipped right back into the Columbus zone and stumbling into the boards is Connaughton. Flynn leaves it there for Marcus Foligno. To Flynn. Flynn got it in front. That's knocked down. Here's a rebound to McCabe. He ripped it wide of the net. Flynn after it again. Sliding it back to the point. Held in by Ristolainen. Got it to Hodgson. He tried to steer it in front. Broken up and slapped out by Hartnell. And it's going to go all the way down. And it's coming all the way back again.
Got it, Cody Hodgson once again getting himself in prime scoring area with the puck. He tries to curl and drag here, but you see the defender just stick out his right foot and kick that puck away from him just at the last second. He was beat. It was just kind of a last-minute desperate play, throwing that right leg out, and he catches the puck with a foot, knocks it off Cody Hodgson's stick.
Back to the point with Bogosian. Didn't get much on that one, and it's taken away to center ice by Hartnell. He'll dump it in and step up. And Bogosian is back to take it away again for Buffalo. That's by Anisimov, and swings it over for Benoit. Up on the wing, tapped in. Gianta, who was knocked down. Mitchell battling for it. Back to the point. Deflected just wide by Molson. Molson gets it again. Spins it behind the net. Gianta steals it away in the corner. Got it back to the point to Benoit with a shot. That didn't make it through. Buffalo keeping the heat on in there as Dano finally comes up with it and gets it on to center ice for Nick Foligno. He gets in over the line. Dropping it back again, and Isamov banned on his shot. And it goes around behind the net. Foligno after it again. Double teamed in the corner, and play has been called, and there's a holding call coming up here against Buffalo. Stay up to date on roster moves. Find out what the coach is thinking every week on WGR. Join Ted Nolan Tuesday mornings at 8 with Howard and Jeremy on the home of the Buffalo Sabres, WGR Sports Radio 550.
Zach Bogosian's going to the box for holding. And it's just a play behind the net, reaching out, grabbing onto Foligno. Just kind of pushing him off into the corner where he's able to use his momentum to get in front of him and finish him off in the corner.
Well, the first penalty of the game belongs to Buffalo with 7:09 remaining here in this opening period.
Columbus power play is very good too. Straight 6 in the NHL, runs it at 21.2%.
Kind of an issue with the clock here. But the timekeeper's bench now. This was brought to the attention of the referee by the linesman. Whatever, it's been settled. But there's 7:10 left now, so they added 1 second to the clock. Ripped around on the boards, kept in by the Blue Jackets. Savard, and he dishes it off and works it over to Johnson. Johnson's got it again for Savard. Savard into the slot. And it's chopped back into the corner, knocked up ahead, and recovered by Buffalo's Girgensons. He'll get the center and bring it in over the line, and then send it in deep with Sabres penalty kill, brought to you by Napa. Napa has the know-how. On the center ice for Atkinson. Broken up by Pezic, and Pezic flings it down the ice. And sends Gianta down to do a little forechecking. 1:15 remaining in the penalty to Bogosian. Over across ice, brought in by Johansson. Chases after it, now swings it around the boards, but a little too far for Wenberg, and it goes all the way back down the ice. Send Columbus right back again, but broken up very neatly at center ice. Now brought in over the Buffalo line, tipped back to the point and worked across ice. Nick Foligno leaving it there to Johansson. Johansson hangs on to the puck. Into Foligno beside the net, back to Johansson once again. Johansson rips it across ice, comes to the point, long screen shot. Ooh, that deflected just wide as Wisniewski let it go. And Buffalo dealing it down the ice with a half minute to go in the penalty, and 5.5 remaining here in the opening period with Buffalo a 1-0 lead. Wisniewski steering it ahead. It's brought in over the Buffalo line, but Nazaros is there to steal it back and feed it off a high stick down the ice. Racing after it. Here's Girgensson. Scores! Girgensson catches Forsberg going for a skate. And Buffalo takes a 2-0 lead on a shorthanded goal.
Well, that was some great work by Zemgus Girgensson. He's seen the break. He's busting through, and Forsberg unsure of what he should do. He got caught in between, tries coming back, and falls down. And that's the 4th shorthanded goal that Columbus has allowed. And that's the 6th shorthanded goal the Buffalo Sabres have scored. But what an effort right there by Zemgus Girgensson when he does get the puck. He's just able to curl and drag around the goaltender. You see his 15th goal of the season. But not a very good effort by the goaltender, and both defensemen for Columbus coming back.
But again, there's a shot right on, and Neuberg will grab that one and hang on as Dano let it rip. But again, the Sabres take advantage of the defense, a little sloppy defense by Columbus. 2-0 Buffalo. Moe's Hot Players to 81018 to receive 25% off at Moe's tomorrow.
Well, when they talk that Forsberg's MO is giving up a weak one and then buckling down, they should change that to 2.
Yeah.
Because both goals that the Sabres have got here were directly related to the goaltender misjudging the play of the puck.
Rough start for the youngster. It's cleared now through center ice. Went off Molson's stick, but it doesn't matter. It was on his side of center ice, so it'll be icing against Buffalo.
Columbus is in a position now when they realize that their goaltender's having a difficult time back there, that it kind of changed their game a little bit. They're going to start playing and thinking they've got to keep the puck out of the zone to give them a little more time to maybe settle down back there. They're going to try stressing a little more, keeping the puck into the offensive zone. Probably watch to see the defenseman get a little more involved, chipping down, trying to keep the puck alive in the Sabres zone.
Tipped off the boards. Molson left it for Mitchell around behind the net. Bogosian bumping off Dubinsky, and it's flipped ahead and sent out to center. Molson comes up with it. Benoit joins the rush, cleared across ice, but it went behind Mitchell, and here's Columbus coming back again. In over the line, dumped across ice. And it comes back to the point again, held in by the Blue Jackets with a screen shot that goes wide. And is bounced around behind the net. Taken back by Calvert. Calvert to the blue line. Swung across ice by Golubeck. And into the corner. Bogosian battling with Dubinsky. Mitchell helps out for Bogosian. He rolled it around into the corner for Gianta. Unable to get it out. It's tipped on the boards and kept in there by the Blue Jackets. And finally, Benoit sends it through center. Sabres trying to make changes and begin to do so. Pass ahead is deflected in. Back Bogosian. Bogosian flipped it ahead. It's rolled around behind the net for Hartnell. Hartnell battling in the corner, and then it's spun out to center by Hodgson. Stewart gets it up the middle to Hodgson. Hodgson gaining the Columbus line. Drifted one off a skate, and it's going to be pinned beside the net by Forsberg. And it's a bit of a cat call from the fans.
Yeah, one good sign. Cody Hodgson hanging on to the puck, trying to make things happen. You see Zemgus Girgensons heading to the dressing room. Looks like he's got a cut up in his nose area, going in with the trainer Tim Macri. Cody Hodgson really handling the puck, coming through the neutral zone, hanging on to it, trying to get to the outside of the defenseman of this Columbus Blue Jackets. So you like to see him when the confidence is high. He got a goal early, can make a huge difference, trying to make things happen offensively.
Now the Blue Jackets with a chance to get it on to center ice. Finally flipped ahead by Wenberg. He cleared it in over the line, tapped all the way to the corner, recovered by Buffalo. Cage slapped it away through center. Chasing after it, Marcus Foligno. He leaves it there to Flynn. Flynn back to the point, and McCabe took his shot right on, and Forsberg's going to hang out of that one.
I think the Sabres are going to realize that Forsberg's having a little trouble. They're going to get traffic in front.
I think if we were down on the ice, you would have heard a sigh of relief.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a look and see what happened to Zemgus Girgensons before he went off. Comes by and he runs right into Andre Benoit. Right from there, he went on to the dressing room to deal with the cut that he had on his face.
Larson tips the point. Well, he got it along the boards, but it's broken up and fired back to the center ice by Anisimov. Now brought in over the line with a shot that deflects on into the corner. Broken up by Pezic. Pezic kicks it free and sends it along the boards and out to center. Wisniewski is there to flip it back in the other direction, but he didn't flip it all the way far enough for icing. He jumped around behind the net. Pezic tried to steal it back again in the corner, still battling for it in there. Kicked along the boards by Nick Foligno, and he dribbled it in behind the net. Picked up by the Blue Jackets, who will keep it in. Nisimov bounces all the way to center, picked up by Ennis, one man back. Ennis trying to beat Wisniewski, does, and he took the shot right on. And Wisniewski came in and wiped out his goaltender and wiped out the net. And Ennis danced out of the way as pretty as you please.
Now Tyler Ennis using his speed, driving up through the middle of the ice. Picks up this puck wide open. He's one-on-one. Wisniewski gets back, tries to bail out a little bit. But watch Forsberg, he's in his net, he's way out. Does a nice job cutting off that angle right there. And earlier in this shift, watch Mark Pezic. Look at how calm he is, just using the angle, keeping his stick on the ice, finishing his man in the corner, and just rolling off and making the play up. Very calm, cool, doing exactly what he needed to do.
Mitchell falls on the face-off. The Blue Jackets take advantage on a 3-on-2 rush. They jam it in over the Buffalo line, slapped out of the air, and dribbles off into the corner, where it's recovered by Atkinson. Atkinson with a shot. That's kicked away by Neuberg. And rolled around into the corner again, scooped up on the wing, but not out. Columbus keeping it in there. Atkinson up with it once more for the Jackets. He goes wide and then feeds it around behind the net with less than 2 minutes to go in the opening period. Dubinsky drops it off in the corner for Atkinson. Atkinson checked and bumped by Bogosian. Neither one of them knew where the puck was. Bogosian finally recovered and flipped it over, and then it goes to Benoit. Benoit will bring it in over the line and gets away from a check from Tooten. Goloubek got it up on the wing to center. Pezic takes it back. He tried to get it to Mitchell, but the Sabres were changing. And it's tapped down low into the Buffalo zone. Stolen by Pezic in the corner. Attempted to flip it behind the net. It went behind the goal, but not out of the zone. Ennis couldn't catch up with it. Put back in the other direction for Trop. And taken away by Buffalo, and Stewart gets rid of it to center. Stewart tried to steal it back again, but finally sent in deep by Letestu. And the pass to Mazzaros, who gets it up on the wing for Larson. Larson tried to sneak through center. Hartnell stole it away from him. Hartnell drops it back. Here's a quick shot off the goal post. Around on the boards it comes and brought back by Stewart. Stewart coming through center. On it goes to Ennis. Ennis swings around. Then he get it to Stewart. It goes in behind the net. Picked up by Johnson. And Johnson bumped by Stewart. Johnson up with it again. Flings it behind the net to Savard. He got it up the middle. And it's cleared to the Buffalo line and over. Set across ice. Held in there by Winberg. Winberg kicks it free again, still with the puck. And finally it's kept in by Connaughton. Sabres take it back. And flipped on in by Flynn. Flynn charging after it. Connaughton pins it against the boards. They both battle for it there, but it matters not because the buzzer will end the period.
Well, a very good period by the Buffalo Sabres, as close as the Columbus Blue Jackets came in the last minute. As Scott Hartnell comes down, he rings one off the post. And that's as close as Columbus was able to come in that period, but the Sabres did a nice job in the defensive zone, keeping things to the outside, not giving up a ton, but capitalizing on their opportunities.
So Buffalo being outshot 13-9, but coming up with a couple of fishy ones and a 2-0 lead.
Sabres Hockey on MSG is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Buffalo Sabres. Brought to you by the Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. Built Ford tough. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Brought to you by your Buffalo Hyundai dealers. Brought to you by Documentelligence and Konica Minolta, the official office technology company of the Buffalo Sabres. Get tomorrow's office today. The New York State Smokers Quit Line. For help quitting, talk to your doctor or call 866-NY-QUITS.
Highlights from the opening period that sees Buffalo jump out to an advantage. You know, Cody Hodgson is right. Matt Ellis does, by driving to the goal, create a distraction, and that clearly flustered Forsberg, although you can't hide the smile on Hodgson's face for scoring the way he did. But then there was a terrific play by Girgensons there to pull that puck in close to the body. Even though Forsberg was in a terrible position, he still had to work his way around the stick. Did Girgensons? He does, and it's a 2-0 Buffalo lead after 20 minutes of play. Sabres Corsi number is -9. Now, you've heard me mention their 5-2 win in this building last year a couple of times already tonight. In that win last year, Buffalo was -60 on the Corsi. -60, and they won easily. That's how important goaltending is. Columbus knows that already tonight. And you see where the 2 goals come from Buffalo in the red zone area. Sabres outshot 13-9 so far. Brad, picking up on some of our pregame topics tonight. The Felinos, Nick and Marcus. You like Marcus's period?
I like to start to the period. He and Nicolas Deslauriers getting in, throwing the body around.
Yep.
Marcus has a lot to play for. His sister Kara's back in Buffalo watching the brothers, and she should be proud of Marcus's efforts in the first.
Tyler Ennis had the same jump, too, that we were talking about from that game against Nashville.
Yeah, he's confident, and when you score goals, especially the one in the shootout, you can take that parlay going forward. Tyler Ennis is excited about his game.
And you like that little inside move he made on the partial breakaway attempt. A confident move, to be sure. And they stayed, for the most part, out of the box, taking only 1 penalty.
Taking only 1 penalty, and Zach Bogosian with the arm in.
To RJ
Tough
and
play.
Razor for the second.
Yeah, we're ready to go to second period here at Nationwide Arena. Benoit will smack it in. Tipped around on the boards by Forsberg. And cleared out through center ice, but broken up by Benoit and ended up being in the Buffalo bench. 14 seconds into this second period.
I think the key here in the second period is get off to the same start, get the puck into the offensive zone, and continue to work on this goaltender. Get the pucks to him, route him a little bit, get bodies in front of him, make it difficult. But I would think Columbus is thinking about the same thing. They've got to keep the puck out of the zone, start working in the offensive zone, give their goaltender a little bit of support to help bail him out.
Tootin sends one up the middle, and it's picked up by Nick Foligno. He'll leave it for Fedor Tootin. Pass comes through center, is picked off by Bogosian, and on for Gianta. Gianta slipping it deep into the corner. Taken back by Golubev. He didn't get it out. It's kept in by Benoit to Mitchell. Mitchell being hounded along the boards. Back to Benoit. He flipped at it. He kept it in there. And there's the shot right on. And Forsberg makes the save on Gianta's shot. Columbus bringing it back in over the line again. Trying to get their first goal of the game. The backhand doesn't make it through. Stewart is over to bump with Savard. And it's cleared around the boards, but kept in there by Johnson. And off the side of the Buffalo net and still not out. Nice for Columbus keeping it in. And steered to corner, came out in front, they score! And that time it was Calvert who was left all alone and rifled it in to have the margin.
Now Matt Calvert with his 10th goal of the season. And he plants himself straight in front of the net. Some nice work by Columbus down low, working the puck to the front of the net. As you see the puck come down, Calvert's just hanging out there. Everybody just kind of leaves him. Bogosian's got his man, Andre Mazzaros. Stays in front of the net. He's got to leak back, and he's got to cover Calvert, try to stay in the middle where he can cut that pass off. And that forward that was late coming into your screen, he's got to drop down and help pick up that forward. So a little bit of a communication breakdown in front of the Sabres net conference.
And a minute and 18 seconds into the second period. It's a 2-1 Buffalo lead. Connaughton flipping it across ice. Now it's dumped up on the wing and tapped into the corner. Mazzaros going after it, bumping in there with Dubinsky. Around behind the net, kept alive by Atkinson. On for Dubinsky. Mazzaros stepped in front of him, and it's rolled off the boards to the blue line, but not out. Now tipped in behind the net, and Mazzaros swings it free to center ice for Marcus Foligno. He got knocked down. Flynn carries on. Flynn leaving it there. Pezic, a shot, he scores! Mark Pezic following up on the play, rifled it home, and Buffalo's back in front by a pair.
Now that's Mark Pezic's second goal in 6 games up with the Sabres. And all he does, he follows up the play. He does an excellent job right here. They penetrate the zone, back everybody off. And Brian Flynn, this nice little drop pass, realizes he's got his defender coming through. But look at this wrist shot. It looks like it deflects off the Columbus player, redirects a little bit. But Forsberg has no idea once again, and that puck is by him on the glove hand.
Here's Hodgson, who had the first Buffalo goal, keeping it in Columbus territory. Larson helping out. Now goes to the corner to Ellis. But the Blue Jackets will get it back and steer it up on the wing for Wenberg. Wenberg in over the line. Benoit goes with him to the boards. Buffalo coming up with the puck. And now there's going to be a penalty coming up here, and it's going to the Blue Jackets. I think, although the referee was kind of slow at blowing the whistle, but I believe it's a holding penalty to Wenberg.
And that's exactly what the call is. And he ends up getting his stick caught in front of the Sabre player trying to battle. Then he ends up falling. Wenberg, one of those young players on this team, right here. He's battling for the puck. But he stops moving his feet. And Utah uses his stick and turning Larson around, and down he goes. So Sabres on the power play for the first time.
Around on the boards, back to Ristolainen. Ennis let it go around behind the net. Stewart chasing after it. Gets picked up and flipped the rest of the way down the ice. The Sabres power play brought to you by New Wave Energy, your local energy supplier and the power behind the Buffalo Sabres. Ristolainen brings it across ice. In over the line is Ennis to Stewart in front of the net. He was checked at the last second. Stewart chasing after it again. Another penalty coming up here is going to Columbus for hooking. That's the reason that Stewart was unable to get a shot on.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for the Buffalo Sabres for at least a minute 24. As Columbus Savard's going to the box, being charged with hooking. And this is a great opportunity for the Sabres to pull ahead that much farther right here. He reaches in with one hand, just gets a piece of Chris Stewart. Gets himself in good position right there, ready to take the shot. That's a tough one right there. He just seemed to put the stick right in the hands of Chris Stewart, preventing him from taking the shot.
Buffalo now a two-man advantage as Ennis starts away to center. Gallops in over the Columbus line. Buffalo holding it in. Back to Bogosian. Works it in deep. Bogosian gets it again. On to Ristolainen. To Bogosian. Bogosian flips it on into the corner. Stewart looking out in front of the net. Got it around behind the net. Ennis kicked it back to Stewart again. To Ennis. Ennis. On to Stewart. Stewart looking for an open man. Cleared it in front and it deflected just wide. Round on the board with 35 seconds remaining in the first Blue Jacket penalty. Ennis swings it to the side. The shot is right on. It's covered up by Forsberg. He looked behind him, but he had it.
Yeah, this kid's confidence is not very high right now, and he makes that save and he does instantly look behind him because he thought maybe it snuck through and he was looking to try to get it. But the Sabres not moving the puck fast enough here on this 5-on-3. They got to move it fast and get some guys moving a little bit. You got to try to get the 3 defenders for Columbus out of position a little bit. They're just sort of standing, waiting for Columbus to make that move. All you're doing is killing the penalty off. Get the puck and the body's moving.
Buffalo changes to another power play lineup. McCabe holding it in. McCabe cleared it beside the net. Back to McCabe again. He doesn't shoot when Mazaros does, and that's right on. And Forsberg hangs on to it with 18 seconds to go in the first penalty.
Yeah, Mazaros tries taking the shot from the point. He's got Molson and Flynn towards the front of the net, but not in good position to be in a screening situation. Shot's just going to come across. He's got a clear lane to make that save. He's able to do it easily with the glove. But when you see that shot coming, you got to get yourself in front of the net to be that distraction.
McCabe holding it in, slides it on for Giunta, back to McCabe. McCabe takes his shot right on the rebound, right in front of the net, and it's stopped by Forsberg, and he reaches, oh, he covered up, and the puck popped free, but the whistle had already gone.
Now getting this puck down low, trying to get the guys moving, and especially the goaltender moving side to side. You see the redirection in front by Molson, and the puck pops right to Brian Flynn. Standing there on the right side of your screen, but it's bouncing. He did not get it clean, and he was off balance himself and not able to get a good shot onto the net.
Buffalo keeping the puck in, scores! The shot rifled in from the side of the net, and Buffalo, on the goal by Stewart, has taken a 3-goal lead.
Chris Stewart just powers this puck via slap shot coming in off the wing. The draw is won. Chris Stewart gains control, takes a vision of what's going on, steps into the top of the circle right there where the face-off initially occurred, and boom, he just powers this right through Forsberg on the short side, just inside the post. And that puts up the Sabres up 4-1 here with 15:30 left in this second period.
Now the officials came over to check with the timekeeper to find out whether the second Columbus penalty had expired or not, or whether the first one had expired, which would have wiped out the penalty box. But the fact of the matter is that that is exactly the case, that the first penalty had expired, so the goal wipes out the second penalty. So we're back to all even again, full strength. Kicked off the boards and dumped in by Wisniewski. They're getting it back, Bogosian, and on to center for Mitchell. Mitchell getting in over the line. Mitchell digs in with a backhand, went around behind the net. Gianna got it in front, and it's kept in there by Buffalo. Mitchell finally unable to control it along the boards, and Nick Foligno scoops it high and across ice. And out to center, but broken up by Molson, who can't get anywhere. And he gets it back again and rattles it in. Over 5 minutes gone here in the second period. Connaughton bringing it ahead. Around on the boards. And Buffalo up with the puck for Delorier. Was a doubtful starter in this game tonight. He was suffering from flu-like symptoms before the game. Here's the puck right beside the net again. And Forsberg helps out a weak defensive maneuver by the Blue Jackets. Brought back in over the line by Johansson. He fed it in front of the net. Sabres steal it back with Flynn's pass that deflects all the way through center. Blue Jackets, Savard clearing it over on the wing. Up to Hartnell. Hartnell will get it in deep. Lindbergh going after it to keep it in there. Spanked off the boards and picked up by Buffalo. Delorier to center. Sends it in and heads to the bench. Larson knocking it around to Ellis. Ellis rolled it on the boards. Hodgson keeping it in with a shot that didn't make it through. Tooten flipped it and it went to center ice. Ristolainen lugging it right back in again with a shot that's going to go off Tooten and out of play. 13:37 remaining. We're in the second period from Columbus, Ohio, and the Buffalo New York Sabres lead it 4-1.
Sabres lead the Blue Jackets 4-1, 13:37 left in this second period. Our New York State Smokers Quit Line trivia question. We saw earlier that Wayne Gretzky broke Phil Esposito's single-season goal-scoring record. Whose record for most goals in one season did Phil Esposito break?
Cyclone Taylor.
That was back in your day. Cyclone Taylor.
Remember Cyclone Taylor? Here the Blue Jackets coming through. Why am I not surprised? They dump it down into the corner. Ristolainen trying to come up with it. Takes a bump along the wall. Jurgensen steered it behind the net. Bounced all the way to Stewart in the corner. He flipped it back in the other direction. Ennis hacked at it trying to get it out, but it's covered up by Tooten to keep it in there. Now around on the boards again and tipped across ice. A shot blocked in front of the net. It's still there and then swallowed up by Neuvirth. Game-worn Sabre jerseys now up for auction with all proceeds benefiting the Sabres Foundation. The auctions remain open until March 1st. Visit sabres.com/community to learn more and start bidding right away.
Cyclone Taylor? I've thought about it.
Have you?
32 goals was his career high.
And they probably
in 1917.
I know it was in 1917, and they probably only played about 20 games.
Do you remember the game?
Yeah.
Did you work it?
Oh, of course I did. It was in the days of wireless, the original wireless.
Vancouver Cyclones.
There it is behind the net now. Chasing after it is Foligno, keeping it in, back to the point. That's Nick Foligno. Going after it again, fleeting it around behind the goal. Columbus keeping Buffalo hemmed in their own end momentarily. Back to the point it comes. Wisniewski's screen shot. Blocked. Rebound, they score! On the rebound, it was punched in by Connaughton. And Columbus has narrowed the margin to 4-2.
Hate that one.
The guy's got an itchy trigger finger. That's what.
Kevin Connaughton getting his 8th goal of the season. There was a penalty, delayed penalty being called on Zach Bogosian. So the extra attacker on the ice. And just come 4 guys all drop down in front of the net. And Michael Neuvirth not able to get back over to his left side and through traffic. This puck goes up and over his shoulder by Connaughton right here. And he doesn't even see it. You can tell by his head movement that he did not even see that puck coming through.
So Columbus now back within 2. And the Blue Jackets bring it right back in over the line. Tapping it on to Weinberg. Weinberg back to the point. Long screen shot finds the glass. Hartnell slapped it back along the boards. Jackets keeping it in with a shot that's kicked away as Johnson let go. Came into the slot. Another shot right on, taken by Johansson. Blue Jackets getting it back again out in front of the net, and that just missed. The Sabres seem to have been rattled by that last Columbus goal. Pezic taking it away. He'll get it off the boards to the blue line, but not out. Another long shot, and that's taken back by Pezic, who gets it around to Marcus Foligno. He's double teamed by 2 Jackets in the corner. It slides around. Jack Johnson pinches in for Columbus, rolling it on into the corner. It comes out in front, but it's knocked down, and Buffalo starting back. Marcus Foligno through the Blue Jackets line, leaves it for Flynn. He dropped it back, and nobody there except 3 Blue Jackets who come in the other direction. In over the line, Calvert. He didn't get his shot away. Into the blue line, Tooten holding it in. It jumps up in the air, and Buffalo will finally get it out. And Larson charges after it. Larson got it in front of the net, and it jumped over the stick of Ellis. Atkinson recovering. Atkinson up on the wing. Brought in by Calvert. And recovered by McCabe, who sends it ahead, and that deflects and goes out of play. Now the Blue Jackets are all pointing up in the air saying, give him a penalty, give him a penalty. I don't think so.
He's calling everybody over. He wants to talk to each other, but watch this.
I heard, well, I thought I heard it deflect.
Watch this back check here by Nick Deslauriers, just trying to bury his head. And we talked about him possibly not playing in this game here tonight. He gave it all he had, getting back into the zone and able to pick up the pass and then turn the puck up and then turn it over again. But nice job getting himself back in that position.
The meeting is over and there's no penalty, and now it's kept in by Calvert, who fires it across ice, recovered by Buffalo with Ennis's pass on to center ice for Stewart. He leaves it there for Girgensons. Stewart took his shot right on. Forsberg to save. Back to Mazzaros with a shot, and Forsberg stops another one.
Yeah, good flurry by the Sabres coming back, getting the shots to the net. And once again, just good job on the forecheck, putting pressure on. He's here, Zemgus Girgensons coming through, being the first guy down in the zone, trying to feed it back to the front of the net. Chris Stewart gets a great opportunity. Zemgus Girgensons gets back to Mazzaros. And Forsberg's able to make the save for the whistle.
Girgensons tried to keep it in, couldn't do it, and the Blue Jackets get a chance to move it away, and it's brought in over the line by Dano. He'll bounce around into the corner. Girgensons took a hit from Dano, and a long shot deflects off into the corner. That is recovered by Columbus. And back it comes to Connaughton. To the point it comes. Wisniewski, a blast. That didn't get through as it's blocked by Girgensons. And that hurt. He's still on his knees. Blue Jackets keeping it in. Another shot is recovered. And now Buffalo with the puck. And because Girgensons is in some distress, play has been called.
Yeah, you're right. He is having a very difficult time. Certified athletic trainer Tim Macri coming out to try to give him a help to get up. But watch this shot comes from Wisniewski. Hits him right on the right ankle, outside ankle, and down he goes. And that hurts right there. And he goes down. He's not able to get up or help the rest of the time. The play has to continue because Columbus had control of the puck. They had to wait till the Sabres got the puck back. And it probably felt like forever laying on that ice, not able to do anything and in pain.
Yeah, he tried to put some weight on it as he was coming off the ice, and he immediately lifted the foot again.
Yeah, the problem with that, even if nothing's wrong, when you take that skate off to check it, it's just going to blow up like crazy, and you do not get that skate back on.
We're midway through the second period. Columbus holding it in. Back to the point, and it's whistled down because there's a penalty against the Blue Jackets for tripping. That happened in deep when the Blue Jackets looked as if they were going to get an opportunity on goal from Savard. The Toyota replay. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer.
Scott Hartnell in the box, tripping right here. Watch as the face-off goes. He just steps out, trips the man going out to the point. Right here, Matt Molson gets the puck, trying getting out to the point. Scott Hartnell pulls him down. In the box for tripping. Sabres are 1 for 2, generated 4 shots on the 2 power plays they've had.
Manson wins the draw. It's tapped around the boards. Pesci keeps it in, however, to Ennis, who lost control of it, and it came to the blue line, but Pesci kept it in again, in for Stewart. Stewart tied up in the corner. Ennis trying to pry. Oh, he got nailed from behind, but no penalty called there as he got hit along the boards, and he was a little bit upset about it. It's cleared around to the point again, kept in by Buffalo. Quick shot, knocked down, right on the goal line as it's covered up by the goaltender. And again, Forsberg looked behind him.
Now Tyler Ennis working it along the wall. Columbus trying to tie this puck up. Sabres in trying to dig it out. Tyler Ennis is going to get hit from the backside, right there into the wall. And no call made.
So Testu hit him.
Testu coming in, stepping in, and then the save right here. Ristolainen comes down, takes the shot, realizes he has no idea where the puck is, continues looking for the rebound.
Sabres holding it in, all the way across ice to Pezic. On to Ennis. Dragging the puck, cleared it in front, deflected right on. Forsberg made a nice save there. Now back it comes to Pezic again. On the other side, the shot by Ristolainen. Rolled in front of the net. Hit to the boards. Ennis comes up with it. Swings it back to Pezic. Ristolainen, a blast. That's right on, and that one is held by the goaltender, Forsberg, who did not look behind him that time. He knew he had it. Sabres have launched a free mobile app that allows users to earn points and redeem them for merchandise, tickets, and experiences. Enter tonight's keyword, Patrick, to earn 10 points. For more information, visit sabres.com/fan advantage.
Well, when Chris Stewart gets himself planted in front, he's got an excellent hand-eye right there. We've seen this so many times in the high slot area. Tyler Ennis is looking to make that pass. And they're looking for the redirection by Chris Sturr. He's so strong, he's able to control that puck and get some great chances by it.
David chasing back after it now and being watched by Anisimov. He'll slide it on to Stewart, who will hook a backhand here. Forsberg is out to whip it around on the glass, but it's kept in by Ristolainen. And now sent all the way down the ice by Columbus. Neubert will tee it up back there for Mazzaros. Half a minute remaining and the penalty to Hartnell. On to center, scooped in by McCabe, but broken up and tipped right back out again. Mazzaros chasing after a Marcus Foligno pass. Up on the wing it comes, Giunta. He tried to clear it into the slot, but it's intent. Didn't work out, and it's sent all the way down the ice. Flynn. Getting it in and taking a shot. That's right on. And the rebound is rather juicy, but it's collected by the Blue Jackets, who bring it back with Hartnell out of the box. And left it there to Wisniewski. Shot right on. And recovered by Buffalo and on to Marcus Foligno, who leaves it for Bogosian. He got it to center. Connaughton trying to clear it back in again. Bogosian for Benoit. Cross-ice pass to Flynn. Flynn will send it in. He'll try to get to the bench. Kevin Connaughton got it through the middle and in over the Buffalo line where Nick Foligno recovers in front of the net for Hartnell. Hartnell cleared it right onto the stick of Hodgson. Hodgson scoops it up on the wing, and here's Ellis going into Hodgson, who's checked at the last second. Hodgson a backhand right on. A rebound right in front of the net, and finally covered up by Forsberg.
Well, Matt Ellis, Cody Hodgson going in on a break. Matt Ellis deciding at the last second to give it back over to the hot hand of Cody Hodgson. Breaking up through the middle. Here's Cody continuing to go through the net. Matty Ellis looks and sees Cody Hodgson with a step on his man. Not able to finish. And right there, once again, Cody peeling out of the corner, going to the backhand, throwing it to the net. And this time, Forsberg's able to make the save and cover the puck up for the whistle.
Buffalo keeping it in, rolled along the boards. Marcus Foligno chips it into the corner to Flynn. He tried to jam it in front of the net, rolls free into the corner. Delorier going after it. Back for Flynn again. Flynn in behind the net. Back to the point it comes. Kept in by Benoit. He switches sides with Bogosian. They jam at it along the boards in behind the Columbus net, but it's pried free and recovered by the Blue Jackets, who get it on to center ice. Buffalo getting it back again. The pass too far for Larson is going to result in an icing against the Sabres.
It's a great feeling when the Sabres win.
Last year, we won over 2,000 cases for our clients. So if you need help, give us a call.
Larson will come in to take the face-off against Dubinsky, who wins the draw. Getting it to Calvert. Calvert around behind the Buffalo net. Puts on the brake, sends it to Dubinsky. Dubinsky looking for an open man. Still controlling the puck. Back to the point. The long shot finds the glass. Get back into the corner. Kept in there by Atkinson. Atkinson wheeling and dealing in the corner. Swings it back to the blue line. On into the corner it goes. And kept alive by Calvert, coming in front of the net. Never got his shot away, and by the time he did, Neubert just reached out and put his paw on it with 5:49 remaining here in the second period. And Buffalo enjoying a 4-2 lead.
Our New York State Smokers Quitline trivia question. We saw earlier that Wayne Gretzky broke Phil Esposito's single-season goal scoring record. Whose record for the most goals in a season did Phil Esposito break? Answer, Bobby Hull.
I knew it. Bobby Cyclone Taylor Hull.
Point Anne, Ontario's Bobby Hull set the record with 58 goals in 1968-69. The year I was born. What a year. Great year.
Puck rolled around the boards, now kept in by Columbus to the point. Long shot, and that's going to be held by Neubert. 5:39 remaining in the period.
The thing is, this Columbus team is not going to quit. They're going to continue to come at you. It's a very hard-working hockey team, and they're going to just get the pucks to the net right there. Puck comes from the point, gets through. Michael Neubert's able to move to his left, find the clear lane.
Shot just went wide of Neubert and the Buffalo net. Back to the point, held in by Johansson. Here's in front of the net, but it's kicked all the way back into the corner again. Another big hit in the corner is Johansson. Teed off on Hodgson. Blue Jackets bringing it back in over to Johansson, who's called on the offside, and Mazzaro's bumped him after the whistle had gone. As he was not fussy about the check that was thrown on Hodgson, and now we've got a little partnering going on. Stewart is involved, or would like to be involved anyway, as he's trying to get after Hartnell. I don't think anything's going to happen there. Not now.
Yeah, Chris Stewart's going to the box.
Well, so is Hart.
Yeah. Well, here's the initial hit right here on Cody Hodgson by Johansson. Lays him out in the corner. Cody Hodgson trying to play the puck. Leaning back on the heels of his skates. Knocked down very easy. And then here's at the end. Mazzaros comes across, bumps Johansson, and then everybody gets involved. Chris Stewart's coming in from the backside. And he's going to end up grabbing onto Hartnell because he's reaching in where Ennis and Hodgson were, and both men, Stewart and Hartnell, are in the box.
And the Buffalo penalty box door is still open, so that means that Stewart's getting a double minor, and somebody else is going to have to serve the other penalty.
Yeah, he's getting 4 for roughing. Hartnell's just getting the original 2. So Columbus 0 for 1 on their first power play, did not create a shot, and gave up a shorthanded goal to the Sabres.
That somebody else will be Larson. Well, the Blue Jackets trying to counter with the power play goal here to get what they want. They keep the puck in the Buffalo end. Had it momentarily. It's chipped off into the corner and tapped back to the point. Held in by Johnson, who leaves it to Dubinsky. Dubinsky works it into the hash marks. Back to Johnson. Johnson swings it across ice. Gets it right back again. Doesn't shoot. Dubinsky. Johnson lets it go right on rebound. Grabbed by Neubert. And a great opportunity on the rebound for Atkinson, but Neubert held his ground.
Now the guys down low for the Columbus Blue Jackets not standing in front. They look like they're just coming in from the sides, and when the shot's coming, then they're crisscrossing and coming to the front of the net, not establishing any net front presence until that shot's established here. One guy out high, and the other guy, Anisimov, down low, just kind of cruises back and forth, waiting for that opportunity to come. So it's easy for the Sabres to defend. They can just sort of stay off to the side till they realize the shot's coming, and then clear the front of the net.
Blue Jackets winning the draw and keeping possession of the puck in the Buffalo zone. Tap back to the point. Well, cleared right beside the net, came out in front, is broken up but not out of the zone. Columbus keeping it in. Steered on in by Johnson to Anisimov. Back for Johnson again. He'll guide it across ice. Savard doesn't shoot. He leaves it for Dubinsky, who gets it on into the corner. They try to tip it out in front of the net. Flynn broke it up. Pezic got it around to the boards, and Flynn chips it the rest of the way down the ice with a minute to go in the penalty. Jack Johnson back to pick it off again. Sends it on to Nick Foligno. He got it in over the line. Mitchell broke it up, but it's going to roll all the way to the other side and be kept in there by Wenberg. Wenberg tipping it into the corner. Back to the point it comes. Held in by Johansson. Johansson into the slot. The shot is fired high and eventually wide by Nick Foligno and ended up going into the mesh.
That was a great opportunity. Nick Foligno trying to go top side, short side. And Michael Neuberth up to the task. But what a great pass from the corner by Ryan Johansson to Nick Foligno right here. One times it. Michael Neuwirth's right there, and the puck deflects up and over the glass.
Johansson is out to take the face-off again, but it's broken up neatly by Pezic, who swings it over to Flynn. Flynn will ease it in and chase in after it. Chopped around to Wenberg. He'll get it ahead for Nick Foligno coming through center, but his pass is going to be picked off by Pezic, and he shovels it right back down the ice. Now Marcus Foligno steals it, and he gives it away, and it's taken by Calvert. Calvert getting it in over the line. Dribbled in front of the net for Nick Foligno. Tracks it down in the corner. Buffalo back to full strength. Long shot deflects, bounces in behind the net. Johansson coming up with it. Tries to muscle it back to the point and does. Wisniewski keeping it in. That'll go to the corner. Marcus Foligno is there. Feeds it on the boards, but runs into Tootin. And the Blue Jackets keep it in. Now they get another chance, and here's another penalty coming up to Buffalo.
Yeah, Mark Pezic's going for hooking. Up to that point, Mark Pezic had a heck of a shift, doing an excellent job on that kill. Picking off passes, getting it down the ice, but once again, Sabres falling victim to way too many penalties here. Nick Foligno does a nice job rolling out of the corner. Mark Pezic has his stick between his legs. This is something we talked about. The penalty kill has been fantastic, but they cannot take this many penalties in a hockey game and think they're going to win.
2:17, Stubinsky and Mitchell on the face-off, and it's recovered by Buffalo and tipped off the glass and down the ice. They'll send Connaughton going back after it. He has one of the Columbus goals, getting it up on the wing, Dubinsky. Dubinsky in over the Buffalo line. Accepts a return pass. Try to set it up with the man advantage. Dubinsky got it in front, but it's chopped off the stick of Atkinson and flipped down the ice by Gianta. 1:20 remaining in the power play. Blue Jackets come back with a pass right up the middle. Calvert left it there. Atkinson now got it back along the boards to Connaughton. Back to Atkinson. Swings it over to Johnson. Johnson elects not to shoot. Works it in deep into the corner and slides it in behind the net. Back to the point. Connaughton. Connaughton feeds it over. Now it comes to the other side. Connaughton takes his shot. Neuwirth the save. It jumps up in the air. The rebound is going to be held by Neuwirth.
Well, our New York Lottery inside the numbers. Nick Foligno this season, 57 games, 23 goals, 55 points, and a plus 11 rating. Previous 446 games, 85 goals, 206 points, and a minus 10 rating. Definitely having himself a heck of a season here this year.
.53 seconds to go in the Buffalo penalty. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the second period. Sabres 4-2. Gianta will take his time and dump it off the boards and down the ice. Wisniewski is back to pick it up. And stolen away by Gianta again. He couldn't get it the rest of the way down the ice, and the Blue Jackets get it back, and stumbling in over the line is Wenberg. All the way into the corner for Johansson. Tipped around for Foligno. Nick Foligno. Back to Wenberg. Into Nick Foligno again. Got it to Johansson. 15 seconds remaining in the power play. Johansson dragging the puck. Looking for an open man to get a shot away. He finally cleared it beside the net. Nick Foligno sending it back to Wisniewski. He cleared it in front. It's deflected wide of the net. Goes back to the corner out in front, and that shot went wide as Buffalo returns to full strength. Kokak into the corner, jumps up high in the air, is knocked down by Mitchell. And he couldn't get it out. Finally got it back to Bogosian, who squeezes it behind the net. And a chance for the Sabres with 30 seconds remaining in the period to get it to center and try to make a change. But it's brought back in by Columbus and broken up by Buffalo, and away goes Gianta. Gianta will tap it in deep. Larson stealing it away in the corner as he battles there with Goluboff. Shoveled around on the boards. Larson gets it back again. Molson holding it in. Molson will flip it in deep, getting into the corner. Goluboff colliding in there, but the period is going to come to an end.
Well, 4 goals, 2 for each team in a span of 6 minutes, 6 seconds here in this second period. And some nice penalty killing work by the Buffalo Sabres, continuing to keep the Sabres in the lead here.
So Buffalo taking too many penalties, I'm sure that they'll admit, but still doing a good job at killing them off and leading 4-2.
Welcome to the Buffalo Sabres Intermission Report on MSG. Presented by Northtown, the official automotive dealer of the Buffalo Sabres. And now, here is Brian Duff.
4-2 the score as Buffalo continues to lead here in Columbus. Some pretty crazy offensive moments at the start of that frame, and then Buffalo's penalty kill settled in and preserved the lead, Brad. Let's get to our Labatt Blue Light player profile. Tonight, it's Mark Pysyk, who is up on his 3rd recall of the year. This is his 2nd consecutive game in the Sabres lineup, and clearly he's had an impact on this one.
You know, when we watch Mark Pysyk, again, we said in the outset of this game that he doesn't overwhelm you, but he's always in the right position on the right side of the battle. We just watch Mark Pysyk play defense. He makes quick outlet passes. Right here, he's got a good stick, active, being able to break up a play. He gets on the right side of the battle. He always wins those pucks, Brian, and he's got an uncanny ability to do so. Right here again, back in front, he gets a little physical, good stick. In a couple seconds after this play, he's going to be the one that gets the puck out of the zone right here on the little rim play. And he makes just a nice little smart dish up the boards and then finish it off. He gets up in the ice. And we heard Tim Murray, the general manager of the Buffalo Sabres, talk on GR the other day, saying that he wants to see Mark Pysyk activate into the rush and become more offensive. He did that on his goal.
And we've also seen in some of our Beyond Blue and Gold features how Pysyk's skating has improved with little details, and boy did he glide nicely into the zone there because of the speed he generated from Sherwood Park, Alberta, one of 2 Alberta boys on the active roster right now. Sherwood Park, a suburb of the hometown of Tyler Ennis. That would be Edmonton. We continue along here in the Intermission Report, and we do so with a look at not only Mark Pysyk and him contributing to what could turn out to be his 2nd career game-winning goal, but also the efforts on the power play play of one Chris Stewart, who had enough of passing it around and took matters into his own hands.
Sabres Hockey on MSG is brought to you by Northtown, the official automotive dealer of the Buffalo Sabres. That's selection and savings to the nth degree. That's Northtown. Units, Western New York's only organ, eye, tissue, and community blood center. Injured? Don't wait. Call 8. Call Celino and Barnes, Western New York's largest personal injury firm. The Gates Vascular Institute, building a healthier future. Eaton makes it easier. Brought to you by Kia. Visit BuffaloKiaDealers.com to learn more.
Buffalo carried a 2-0 lead into period number 2, and very early on, it was a Matt Calvert 10th of the year from Dubinsky and Johnson. So you're thinking, oh, here come the Jackets, but Mark Pysyk on the rush. We've seen it a couple of times already, and he delivers with one that appeared to be a little bit deflected on the way as well. So you can maybe cut Forsberg a bit of slack on that one there. Just a short side offering for Stewart, and the big lead was in Buffalo's favor. 4-1 at that point on a delayed penalty. One of the better pickups of the year. Kevin Connauton out of Dallas has been a fine offensive defenseman for the Jackets this year. Give him 8 on the season. Your Vein Treatment Center summary. Visit them online at Veins.com. You see the special teams difference. Buffalo 1 for 3. Jackets are 0 for 3, but have had more odd man rushes in this game, so Buffalo would like to create a better opportunity in that regard. You see Zach Bogosian's ice time. Also take note, Bogosian has picked up his first point as a member of the Buffalo Sabres, an assist early on in period number 1. Mark Pysyk's a +3 in this game to match his jersey number. Sabres are a -13, and the Corsi being outchanced as far as attempts towards the goal and those that get blocked as well, 48-35, but the shots on the big board are 29-27, a much narrower deficit for Buffalo to handle at this point in time. They're trying to take home a lead in period number 3. We'll see you on the Lexus postgame report right now. Period 3 with RJ and Razor.
Sure, we're ready to go. Sure we are. As Mitchell will go into center ice to take the face off against the Foligno brother, who plays for the Columbus Blue Jackets. That would be Nick. Back to the Columbus line and tapped over for Goloubek. It's going to roll all the way down to the Buffalo net, but be taken back by Bogosian. Benoit swings it to center, chipped in over the line and chasing after it. Mitchell trying to get away in behind the net. Isamov keeping an eye on him. Back to Bogosian with a shot. He fired it wide. Round on the boards. It comes to the line and knocked out to center ice. And chipped away by Bogosian. Rolled back in along the boards again. It jumps up in the air. And Foligno keeping it in. All the way around on the other side. Giunta unable to get it out. Mitchell will help him out, but Mitchell left it there, and it's taken back by Dano, I beg your pardon. Dano chasing after it again and keeping it alive for Columbus. Around to Nick Foligno. Bumped by Bogosian. Bogosian has the puck. Bogosian rifling it on to center to Molson. Molson wants to scoop it in, but it was knocked down at the line, and Buffalo's got a hustle. They were in the midst of a change. Picked up by Atkinson. He couldn't get anywhere, and all the way back to Savard. Savard sliding it ahead. It's nipped into the Buffalo end. Dubinsky going after it along with Pysyk. Came out in front of the net and is grabbed and held by Neuvert.
Well, some early pressure here in this third period by the Columbus Blue Jackets, doing a nice job rotating the puck in the Sabres zone right here. Dubinsky gets in on Mark Pysyk. Uses good body position. He's able to feed the puck to the front of the net. Cam Atkinson's trying to go short side, like with Neuvert there.
Savard with a long shot that's knocked down in front of the net, but kept alive by Columbus. Going to get along on the wall is Calvert. He's chased around, but gets it back to Savard. On the other side to Johnson. In front of the net, the shot is knocked away at the last second. Did Neuvert get a piece of that? It's knocked back in behind the net. A great opportunity for Columbus goes for naught. Back to the point. Worked over to Savard. He gets it in deep. I'll roll into the corner. Pysyk trying to steal it away from Dubinsky, and he does by getting it on to Stewart. He flipped it as far as center. Johnson takes it back and rifles it ahead. And it caroms, I think, off somebody at one of the benches, and it's going to be a face-off back in the Columbus end.
Michael Neuwirth comes up big here. The shot, good rotation once again. The initial save is made. Oh, Mazzaros comes across, tying up his man. This is a smart move here by Mazzaros, and he's able to get the stick on it. And Michael Neuwirth coming across with the pad as well to make that save.
Now fired out to center ice, and McCabe takes it back and works it up on the wing. That'll be deflected in by Larson. Hudson thought he had stolen it behind the net, goes after it again, and it's hooked all the way around to the boards by Wisniewski. Deflects back through center. Buffalo changing again on defense, and the shot right on, and it's going to be held long enough for a face-off, and now a little extra shoving going on. I don't think this is going to amount to Iowa beans.
The Sabres have to be careful here. There's 17-17 left in this third period. You cannot play this whole third period in your zone. You got to get things straightened out a little bit here. You've got to get the forwards back on the spot where they're going to be able to help the battle, but they've got to also stay in good positioning where the puck's going to go to the point. You're able to get your shot in that shot lane or your stick. A little too much running around here in this first 3 minutes of this third period.
Behind the net, goes all the way to the corner. Wisniewski holding it in. Blue Jackets buzzing around in the Buffalo end again. Nick Foligno sending it in deep. In behind the goal to Anisimov. He flings it back in the other direction. Jackets trying to control it. Dropped off by Dano, and play has been called, and we've got another penalty coming up for tripping to Buffalo.
Torrey Mitchell falls down and Anisimov behind the net. Right here, 17 comes in, sticks his stick right into the feet of the Columbus player. Down he goes. Columbus going back on the power play. They're 0 for 3, 6 shots so far.
Well, one thing, Buffalo's sure getting lots of practice lately on their penalty kill. There's a shot right on. It's kicked away by Neuwirth. Tipped off to the boards, but kept in by the Blue Jackets. Johansson got it out in front of the net. Back to the point. Shot knocked down as it didn't get through. I think it hit Bogosian. Kept in front again. Another shot blocked by Bogosian. As Wenberg keeps unloading. Jackets the man advantage. Out in front, shot wide of the net. Wenberg comes up with it again. Wisniewski over to Wenberg. Wenberg tried to clear it in front. He got it back again, and it's going to roll to the blue line, but be kept in by Wisniewski to Wenberg. Wenberg whistles it across ice. Johansson tried to get it in front, and it's stolen away by Ellis and flung down the ice. With 1:10 remaining in the penalty. Wisniewski on the center, and it goes farther to Atkinson. Neuwirth comes out to flip it off the boards, and he got it all the way to center. Johnson was unable to trap it. Johnson now picking it up. He sends it on for Dubinsky. Dubinsky races in over the Buffalo line, puts on the brakes and gets it back to the point, and it's scooped across ice to Johnson. Johnson leaving it there. Whistle back in the other direction. Back to Connaughton, keeping it in. Blue Jackets fire it back to Connaughton. Now to Johnson. Cleared it in front, and it was deflected off the side of the net by Atkinson. Dumped back down the ice with 20 seconds remaining in the power play. Almost 5 minutes gone here in the third period. Buffalo a 2-goal lead. On the center ice, scooped across for Johansson. He takes a shot, and that one is off the arm of Neuwirth and out of play.
A big part of penalty killing is blocking shots. Zach Bogosian, this penalty has blocked 2. Here's the first one. Goes down, uses his body as he's got one knee down on the ice. The second one, he's going to come across right there. That's the first. Yes, we're not going to take a look at the second one, but he already had one. But the Sabres coming in after 2 periods, 12 blocked shots.
We're wondering about the absence of Zemgus Girgensson. He was injured in the second period and has not come back. And now here's Neuvirth covering up on a shot from the point taken by Golubeck.
Columbus just trying to get that quick shot through, trying to establish, get everybody down. Sabres have done a good job here with this penalty kill. We talked about it in the pregame, how they're trying to get the man with the puck on the point, trying to force him down the wall and then attack them into the corner. And they've done a decent job of that so far. Columbus really looking to hit that guy in that low slot area, though.
Hansen jammed it in front of the net. It's still there, and now it's going to be covered up and held. And now we got some shoving going on. Johansson and Marcus Foligno. Here's Bogosian right in the mix of things again. Funny, there don't seem to be a whole lot of people who want to mess with him.
Well, our Hyundai leader, 22 years ago today, Alexander Mogilny set the Sabres record for the most goals in a season when he scored 4 and finished the night with 60 to eclipse Danny Gare's record of 56. And that year he ended up with 76 goals.
As did Teemu Salami from the Winnipeg Jets.
Just seeing him and Paolo Fontana seemed like every time they stepped on the ice, they had a scoring opportunity. It was just an amazing year sitting back and watching those guys. And I think Brad May ran shotgun a little bit on that line. I don't know why, but he was there.
Here's the Blue Jackets trying to jump it in, but Bohl banked it off the leg and out to center ice. Bohl comes up with it again and leaves it. Golubeck. Taken back by Pezic. Gianta tapping it in. Scooped on into the corner. Golubeck dumping it ahead, but not out. It's stolen back by Gianta. Finally up on the wing and scooped up in the air by Bohl to center. Mitchell takes it back and Bohl takes a run at him and knocks him down. And then Mazzaros came over, and Mazzaros is getting a penalty for retaliation on Bohl. In fact, did he? Oh, maybe I misread the signal. I guess he's not.
Look at it right here. Bohl comes up. Gets a piece of Mitchell. And Andre Mazzaros comes across as he's getting up the ice bowl and he knocks it back down. No calls made. Andre being pretty physical, being very aggressive the last couple games.
Shot just wide of the net by Hudson. And the Blue Jackets trying to get it out of their own end, and Mizuski will by sending it through center and right on Neuvirth. Ristolainen. Laurier couldn't come up with it. Blue Jackets keeping it in as Larson was unable to advance the puck. He goes back into the corner, and McCabe squeezed out in the corner. Hooked on the boards by Larson, and he finally gets it on to center ice, but then loses control. The Jackets bringing it back in with Dubinsky. Hustling back after it, Ristolainen. Rolled it around on the wall and tapped on to center ice. Wisniewski flipping it ahead. Dubinsky gets in over the line, hustles his way into the corner. And a getaway along the wall, tapped it back to the point. Long shot by Savard, misses. Steered back into the corner again. Buffalo taking it away with McCabe, but he gave it away behind the net. Nick Foligno got it out in front, and everybody missed the pass, and down the ice it goes. Savard couldn't get it, and neither could Anisimov. Savard chasing all the way back after it. Over 7 minutes gone here in the third period. Pass goes to center ice. Logano, and he'll flip it in, and that's going to be covered up by Neuvirth. 12:43 remaining here in the third. 4-2 Buffalo. The Connors and Ferris replay, Western New York's workers' comp attorneys.
Jake McCabe having another good night, talking to Mark Pysyk on the bench right here. Does a nice job fending off the puck. Johan Larsson comes down for a little support. And Larsson's able to chip it by the second guy, main control, get it out of the zone. Nice job by those two young men. And then McCabe right here, circle 29. Man coming down on him, he stands right up, takes the time and space away from him, keeps him to the wall, finishes him a couple times, and just stays right with him. Nice job.
Marcus Foligno got it on to center ice. Stewart whips it in. That's going to be right on the goaltender Forsberg. And Columbus bringing it back again with a pass up on the wing. Led Hartnell by too far. Bogosian comes in to step into Wenberg. Wenberg takes his shot, blocked in front of the net. Marcus Foligno knocked it out to center as he got bowled over from behind. Stewart couldn't catch up with it. Columbus bringing it back in again with Johansson. Johansson rolls it to the point. A long shot deflected in front of the net, chopped away, but not out. Johansson keeping it in there. He swings it across ice for Savard. And Savard's shot goes high and off into the corner to Johansson again. Ryan Johansson flips it into the circle, recovered by Mazzaros and tapped out to center ice as Buffalo changes once more. Savard getting it up on the wing, deflected in by Johansson, and he heads to the bench. McCabe flipping it around behind the net, and it's scooped free and set up on the wing, and McCabe carries on. He bounces one in wide of the Columbus net. Blue Jackets attempting to get it out. And they do with a pass that comes to center for Atkinson. Got it in over the line. Dubinsky dropped it back. It bounces in around behind the goal. Stolen away by Mitchell, who got it up on the wing and deflected out to center ice again. Whipped back in by Goluba. They got it off the boards into the blue line and out to center. And now it'll be flipped in deep and a bouncer that Forsberg had to be careful with. All the way to the corner. Got it to the blue line. It comes out and is rattled right back in again by Molson. Blue Jackets trying to get something going with a pass on to Bowl at center ice. He jammed it ahead. It's knocked down. And it's taken back by Larsson, who gives it to Benoit. And the pass from Bogosian goes ahead. And Forsberg makes the save. Ellis keeping it in there. Hudson couldn't steal it back, and it's dumped out to center ice and brought across ice. Bogosian comes over to get a puck into Trop. And now it's going to be fed down into Columbus territory and an icing against Buffalo.
Well, Zemgus Girgensons earlier in this game going to run into Andre Benoit, cut his face, goes to the dressing room for repair. Little upset right there, and then he comes back out right here. He blocks a shot with his right ankle, and he has gone to the room and will not return here tonight.
There's a long shot that's knocked down, and Larsson takes it away. Got it up on the wing. Hodgson taps it in and steps off with his teammates. Well, they roll back into the corner. Pysyk charging after it. He gets bumped behind the net by Anisimov. It's rolled around on the board, scooped back in the other direction, comes out in front, and Anisimov is unable to beat Neuberg. Pass bounces up in the air, recovered by Buffalo. Pysyk squeezes it on the boards, but Nick Foligno keeping it in. Well, Marcus Foligno got it on to Stewart. As Ted Nolan has had to do some juggling after losing Girgensson. Stewart gains Columbus territory, flips it back along the boards. It came right beside the net, back to the point. Held in by Ristolainen. Ristolainen tips it over on the side. Flynn had to give it to Marcus Foligno, but it jumped off his stick, and the Blue Jackets get it back with 9 minutes remaining in the third period. Both teams are changing. Long pass to center, broken up by McCabe. And McCabe steals it away and hooks it in, and a bouncer. And Forsberg had to look that one right into his chest. 8:51 to go. We're in the third period at the Nationwide Arena. Buffalo 4-2. We got a dandy Karuba for you tonight. Jared Bowl and Mitchell at center ice as they both go crashing to the ice and they both bounce back on their feet again. Make the right decision, insist on Karuba collision. The official collision repair centers of the Buffalo Sabres.
Shots on goal this period. Columbus 12, Sabres 3, and the faceoffs. Columbus is leading 10-1 in that department. Just like the Corsi number, though, it means nothing. Sabres are up 4-2 on the board.
Johnson flips it high in the air, getting it to center, and it's rolled into Buffalo territory. Benoit back after it along with Johansson. And taken away by Bogosian, who swings it across ice. It'll be flipped on in by Mitchell. Olsen chases after Johnson in the corner. Johnson rolling it up on the wing. Johansson trying to come back again. Long pass taken out of the air by Bogosian. He slapped it to the side. It came in front of the net, but was broken up by Mitchell. And it's steered on the wing to Molson, who will send it across ice for Giunta. A bouncing puck that he manages to get over the line, and then he gets knocked down by Johnson. Savard to Johnson. He gets to center, and that'll be deflected in deep. 8 minutes remaining in the third. Pezic got it around on the boards, and they're going to call this one an icing.
And this faceoff coming back into the Sabre zone, just right of Michael Neuberg.
Mike Robitaille breaks the Sabres performance down. Takes your calls Wednesday mornings at 8:30 with Howard and Jeremy on the home of the Buffalo Sabres, WGR Sports Radio 550.
Roby's being roasted too. Looking forward to that.
The puck is cleared around on the boards. Kept in by Golobat, but broken up and whipped right back into the Buffalo end. Mazzaros. Rolled down the ice by Delorier. Didn't make the icing line, and Delorier comes back to stick his shoulder into Tuppen. Buffalo stealing the puck away again, trying to keep it in. Larson's battling in the corner. Finally, Tuppen comes in to help out. Tuppen swings it across ice. Atkinson. Ristolainen chasing after it, bumping with Dubinsky. Flipped up in the air, but not out of the zone. Columbus keeping it in. That'll go back into the corner. Ristolainen battling in there. Trying to take it away, and now they jam in against the boards. It came free momentarily. Blue Jackets keeping it alive behind the net. And picked up by Atkinson. He got it in front. That's stolen away by Marcus Foligno, but not out of the zone. Blocked and rolls back into the corner again. Blue Jackets keeping the pressure on in the Buffalo end. 6.5 to go here in the third. Dubinsky looking to find an open man. Back it comes to Wisniewski. He gets checked. But the Jackets keep it in. Now it'll be knocked down. And McCabe sends it ahead, and Stewart is called on the offside.
Now Tyler Ennis has left this game, and we've got notice that he will not return tonight as well. Ted Nolan's bench is getting shorter over there for him.
Should ever. Still almost 6.5 to go in the third period. Columbus wins the draw, but it misses everybody and goes into Blue Jacket territory. Savard chasing back after it, up for Nick Foligno. And he overskates the puck, and Molson takes it back and rolls it in over the line for Giunta. Giunta takes his shot. It's right in the goal crease. And now they jam at it again, and finally it's covered up by Forsberg, and he missed that one, but it didn't go across the goal line.
Well, he's getting a little luck on his side here now. Once again, a shot from the outside. I talked about it earlier. When you take the shots from the outside, he does not cover angles very well. And there's another good example. This is a wrist shot from Brian Giunta, and he can't handle it. He gets it up in his body area, and then it ends up falling right in front of him. He has no idea where it is. Thank goodness his defenseman was there to bail him out.
Hudson took a whack at it. Here's Ellis behind the net. Ellis still digging after the puck. Flipped it back in the other direction to Hudson. Now to Larson. Larson trying to get it in front to Hudson. Larson still battling in there. Hodgson helps him out. Hodgson digs it free. Hodgson swings it back into Larson again. Larson battling to Hodgson with a shot. That didn't make it all the way through. And Johnson gets it up on the wing and as far as center ice. Blue Jackets bringing it back in over the line with a shot that's going to deflect and go around behind the net off the stick of Letestu. Into the corner. Letestu chasing after it again. Back in the other direction. Tip to the point. Wisniewski keeping it in. That'll go wide of the goal. Blue Jackets are trying to change. They got it in front of the net. Sabres break it up and tip it out to center ice so they can complete a change. Swung over to Wisniewski. Wisniewski a long pass ahead. Taken out of the air and shot back out again by Flynn. Flynn up on the wing, but Marcus Foligno couldn't get anywhere and Johansson takes it back. Wisniewski. Well, the pass comes again to Johansson in over the Buffalo line. Johansson got it in front and Neuvert takes it away and hangs on to it. 4.5 to go. We're in the third period and visiting Buffalo up 4-2. Columbus has peppered Michael Neuvert with 42 shots to this point in this game. He's had a lot of big saves, but none better than the one on Calvert right beside the net. He stuck his leg out and kept it out of there. The Toyota big save brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
And Michael Neuvert has faced 42 shots to this point. And that's a Columbus Blue Jackets season high shot on goal.
Face off in the Buffalo end again. Sabres without Girgensson, without Ennis. Back to the point it comes. Tootin holding it in, sends it in deep. Broken up by Benoit, who got it around on the boards, not out of the zone. They jam at it again. It jumps up in the air and finally is forced away through center ice. Wisniewski flipping it back through the middle. It's dumped over on the wing. Broken up at the blue line before Johansson could get away. Wisniewski will now clear it on in. Kicked out in the corner by Mitchell. Swings it in behind the net. And picked up there and rolled ahead by Benoit, who got it up on the wing and helped the rest of the way in by Molson. Wisniewski with it. Inside 4 minutes to go in the third. Whipped across ice as far as center ice, but broken up by Buffalo. Mazzaros leaves it back there. And Pezic gets it up on the wing. Stewart dropped it back, and it's fired in by Marcus Foligno right on. Wisniewski takes a look and pumps it around on the boards, working it as far as center. Scooped ahead, but there's Pezic to cover up again. And the Blue Jackets are in a delayed offside situation. But it doesn't matter because the Sabres Pezic is going to dump it deep into the Columbus end. Flipped around on the boards again. Marcus Foligno tried to get it in front of the net. That's taken back by Atkinson, but he didn't get it out. Finally, Dubinsky spins it across ice to Johnson. Inside 3 minutes to go here in the third. Shot right on. The rebound is tapped back into the corner. Jumped up in the air, and it's cleared across ice. Kept in by the Blue Jackets. Back at the point. Fed by Savard into the slot area. Broken up by Buffalo, but not out yet. Well, they battle again as Ristolainen steals it away. And gets it around to Stewart, who chopped at it along the boards. Flipped it ahead, and Larson got rid of it to center. Nick Foligno over to Savard. The Blue Jackets pull their goaltender. It's cleared in front of the net. It's deflected just wide. That'll roll back into the corner. Ellis trying to work it along the boards. Didn't get it out, though. The Blue Jackets keeping it in. Around behind the Buffalo net, and Bogosian comes over and outmuscles his man as he takes down Dano. Blue Jackets keeping it in, however. And it's sent across ice to Wisniewski with a shot that went off Bogosian and out of play.
The official First Niagara Sabres debit MasterCard has arrived. Stop by your local branch or go to firstniagara.com/sabres for details.
A timeout being called here by Columbus. They've got their goaltender pulled.
This is a strategy timeout. I think Ted Nolan might be saving his for a relief timeout.
Yeah, he might need a rest later on. Now this gives us a chance for Miller time. Tonight's Miller time moment. Great Zemgus Girgensson scoring his third shorthanded goal of the season, which ties him for third in the NHL in that department.
Well, both teams are gathered at their respective benches. And now breaking it up. We'll have the face-off coming back to the left of Neuvert. 2:04 left on the clock here in the third period. Sabres flying back home tonight, prepare to host the Vancouver Canucks on Thursday night. Johansson will come out and take this face-off against Mitchell. Whenever. Puck is dropped. Benoit tipped it over. They can't get it out though. Blue Jackets keeping it in. A long shot gets knocked down. Columbus net wide open and it bounces out to center ice. Wisniewski scoops it over on the wing. Bogosian breaks it up and it's cleared to center and a race for it now. And Johnson wins the race to the puck. Johnson all the way back behind his own net. Gianna chased him back there. Now it's fed up on the wing. And finally fired in by Hartnell. That'll go to the boards. Johansson took his shot, misses, comes all the way around to the point to Johnson with a shot. That gets knocked down, but not out. Blue Jackets keeping it in. Wisniewski to Johansson, trying to get it to Nick Foligno, and it's slapped off the glass, but not out of the zone. Wisniewski to Johnson, to Nick Foligno with a shot, blocked in front of the net, and flipped off the boards and down the ice. It's going to be icing against Buffalo.
And this may be a case where you see Ted Nolan use that timeout you talked about. These guys caught out on the ice there for quite a while here so far.
1:07 left on the clock in the period.
And Nick Foligno gets the big shot. Torrey Mitchell back helping out the defenseman, just turns and fires this puck down the ice. And Ted Nolan did just call his timeout.
45-31 are the shots on goal in favor of Columbus. Michael Neuvert has sparkled again tonight, as he really has done every night since he was appointed the #1 successor to Jonas Englund.
You know, and sometimes just the way you approach games, you know, when you're knowing you're going to be the backup, you're not going to be in on a consistent basis, you approach it a little differently. You prepare in practice differently. You prepare the night before, day of. But when you become that guy that they're going to lean on each and every night, you get yourself in that mental state. And sometimes you can get yourself in a groove, exactly the way Michael is right now. And he rides it. A lot of the times you need to play. You need to play to get yourself in that groove. And when you're only playing sparingly and time here and wait a few days, a week in between, you just can't get into that groove.
Columbus net remains wide open. The face-off again on the Buffalo end, and it's tipped back to the point. Johnson swings it over to Wisniewski. Wisniewski tucking it into the corner. It jumps up in the air. Bogosian has it trapped between his skates. Didn't see it. Rolled around on the boards. Blue Jackets Foligno getting it back. Now dropped off to Johnson. He took his shot right to the goal crease. It's chopped away. Johnson back to the point. Another long shot doesn't get through. Benoit trying to steal it away. And it's tipped back behind the net. Came out in front, deflected, and comes back to the point to Wisniewski. That's deflected into the corner. 30 seconds to go. Back to the point, Wisniewski. And the shot taken right on and held by Neuvert. As Hartnell took a swipe at it. And Buffalo will finally get a chance to make a change.
Yeah, there's plenty of traffic in front of Michael Neuvert, but he's doing a good job getting himself in a position where he's able to see. He's a bigger guy. He can see up and over a little bit. And the defense, as you see when the puck starts coming from the point, as soon as they realize the shot's coming, bang, they look to move the guys. And then Hartnell, everybody turns out of the way. Michael's able to see it clean.
Over it comes to Savard. He steers it to the corner, and that's going to deflect and go out of play with 21 seconds remaining.
Very similar here with the goal he pulled as the Sabres did in their penalty kill here tonight, just letting Columbus keep the puck to the outside. They're willing to let them move it around the outside, try to establish that shot from the side where they could get them body into that shooting lane. And it just seems to waste so much time for them. And defensively, the Sabres have done an excellent job in their own zone.
Dubinsky is directing traffic before they drop the puck. They'll take the face-off against Flynn. Or Willie. Yep, they're going to give him a chance to do it again. Flynn on his knees, knocks it back into the corner. Bogosian rips it around on the board. Stewart picks it up, trying to get away. Gets in over the line, and then he tried to hack it over to Marcus Foligno. But it was broken up by Tootin. Shoveled along the boards again. Goes to center ice, and a glove pass charged against Columbus. But with 5.4 seconds remaining, the Buffalo Sabres are about to leave Nationwide Arena with a victory.
Yeah, face-off going deep into the Columbus zone. Goaltender will be coming back into the net. But here's Chris Stewart, muscling his way through. He's realizing he has Marcus Foligno with him. He just tries to reach out and chip that puck to the middle of the ice to allow Marcus to skate into the empty net. Very unselfish play by Chris Stewart.
Face-off, largely a formality at this point in time. Tipped back into the circle, picked up, and Calvert will dump it away and down the ice, and that does it. The Sabres win it.
Well, this could have been a very expensive win for the Buffalo Sabres by losing Ennis and Girgensons both in this game. But defensively, very sound once again. Penalty kill, very good once again. But Michael Neuwirth continues to be excellent in net.
47 shots directed his way during the game, but Buffalo leaves with a 2-goal victory as we go to Brad and Brian.
Turn out the lights on Michael Neuwirth. He is absolutely shining bright right now. That's incredible. 9.52 is the save percentage for Neuwirth over his 6-game run.
He's been so good. Michael Neuwirth has. He's been so composed, calm in there, making some big saves, timely saves, and he's getting some goal support. Obviously tonight he got off to a lead, and that's a good thing for a goaltender.
Can't imagine what Neuwirth was feeling, not only from his confidence standpoint, Brad, but when you feel for the netminder at the other end. I know you're in a competition, but the goaltenders union is pretty tight. He had to be wondering just how bad Anton Forsberg was feeling about how this game started. Buffalo got to him on a couple of misplays, to be sure, from the Columbus netminder, and Buffalo rides that to a big win here at Nationwide Arena. They've had a terrific run on the road of late. More on that and some highlights from this victory over Columbus. First time they've ever won in back-to-back trips to Nationwide Arena. Stay with us. The full Lexus post-game report is coming up.